Hello and welcome people back to more of Let's Play Folklore. And this time around, we're gonna start the first chapter with Keats.
You mean the best chapter?
Well, yeah. And you'll again see that there are quite a lot of things that are different, even though we are going to be playing through the same level, more or less. There is still enough. Things spiced up to make it interesting.
I like how they actually have the radio on in this pub.
Mm-hmm.
Makes it very authentic.
Yeah. So authentic it got copyrighted.
Yep.
So yeah, at this point, Keats does not even know Ellen's name.
Eh.
For him, it's just the girl that passed out. But we're still going to have a conversation with this guy.
Better than sleeping in that fucking hole in the ground.
That is true. It's probably not quite as cold here.
Yeah.
But yeah, he does establish that none of the villagers actually walk out during the night. I guess they all kind of know.
Yeah.
I'm looking at you, dear. And that wasn't my PS3 controller freaking out. That was just me doing the things I usually do
Yeah.
in games. So let's just talk about everything to everybody.
Gee, I wonder why you say that.
Well, he just became the prime suspect.
Yep.
It's just getting more suspicious with every minute.
I guess no one's home. Meanwhile, she's right outside the fucking door.
Well, no, he specifically said that
Yeah, I know.
he feels like there's someone inside.
I know. I'm just making fun. Help in murder?
Possibly.
Okay, I'm calling you now. Everyone in this town's in on it. Including this little girl.
She probably runs the mafia.
Probably.
I'd expect so much from a blonde little girl. But yeah, the interesting part is she doesn't actually tell Keats that her parents are getting divorced, whereas she told that information to Ellen.
Yeah.
Yes, little tidbits like that. I can't play on his TurboGrafx 16.
Why not?
I wish.
Arrow.
But I guess he just doesn't want us to get up on his Far East of Eden file. I mean, I wouldn't want anyone to play my RPG. Yeah, she's out of the way. She just can't get there, period.
Uh-huh. Sure.
Ooh.
Keats doesn't mess around.
Nope.
Well, that
Well,
was
you're
easy.
not paying me.
Right. Alright. So,
And for
conversation
some
over.
reason, there is an invisible wall between her and that table.
Why?
I don't know. I guess just her leg that she pulls out extends so much that you can never get through.
Jesus.
But to be honest, there is nothing to check there. I wanted just to see if you can do anything with that doll, but nah. Maybe, but there's still a person we need to talk to. For no good reason.
We still have to talk to Gomez.
Yes. This is... I love that they actually do mention her her just swimming to the shore.
Yep.
Exactly. No sane person would have swum in the sea. Not in that weather. Not in any time of the year.
Why are you talking about Keats to Keats?
Just talking in general. Yeah, any stranger in this village is bound to be, you know, a suspect. You know, like, when you want to be an absolute asshole talking about someone in third person.
Right. I work for a nondescript bank. How you doing? So that sets off Ellen's side.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Like Gomez established.
Yep.
I just hope you don't get yourself arrested with your pursuit of your past. Also, this game does this really weird thing that I noticed in a lot of games from that era. As in, they kind of shove the character models into a scene and still apply all of the physics to them. Like, every time you begin a scene with Keats, you will see that his tie just kind of wobbles around. Wobble. It's the same with The Witcher. Whenever you begin a scene, they just literally drop the characters into it. Like a talkie scene, they just literally drop the characters into it, and if they're female, it of course activates jiggle physics. Particularly noticeable on slower PCs.
The fuck?
And that happened too.
Okay.
I've never seen that glitch before, to be honest.
Well, at least now we know Keats sleeps sitting up.
I mean, he had to get up twice before all of his bones were correctly stretched. But yeah, for now, there is no reason to go to the pub because none of the side quests were actually set off quite yet. You do get a notification in the Netherworld. I don't know if it's just for the first chapter, or do they do that for all of the chapters. But yeah, this works exactly the same as it does with Ellen. Although weirdly enough, the portals for the Netherworld will be located in similar areas, but in slightly different places.
So now we no longer have a family photo. How sad.
Nah, I think we still have it, actually. Because later on, I think it will still appear in our inventory. But yeah, here begins another FMV cutscene, so we're going to sit quiet.
The spirits led me here, to the Netherworld. An ancient tale of a voyage to the Netherworld. Ha, brilliant.
As you see, this location was actually much closer to the actual lighthouse than when Ellen was entering the Netherworld.
Yeah. I just like to think that the Invisible Man just kind of is barely paying attention to us all this time. He's talking to us.
I mean, those 15 Shades of Grey. It's a prequel to the 50.
Take this picture book.
Yeah. What's interesting about the picture book of both Ellen and Keats, they're both different. Which is good, because there are completely different folks available for both of them. And there are different weaknesses and different strategies for even the same folks. And as you see here, Keats also has different...
Wait, Maximilian?
Yes. Maximilian is horrifyingly powerful, but not very reliable. You will see why.
Yeah, that sums up Maximilian.
he has the issue of it's the darkest right under the lighthouse. As in, he deals a lot of damage if the enemies are far away from him, but if they're right next to him, they avoid all of the damage.
Ouch.
Which, considering the way he works, it's highly likely that he's actually they're actually going to get close to you before he actually fires anything. But you will see. I was actually the destruction elemental monster that you get in this level is, in my opinion, much more reliable. Like he can be good for certain situations, but like if I were to just say for everything, not exactly. And the fun part about him, you can also charge him.
Cool. Dude.
But as I said before, if anything is right up his ass, it's not going to get hit. You'll see that many times.
That makes me sad.
At first I thought that like them giving me a destruction elemental monster right off the bat is actually going to sequence break something. But his like, because all of the folks he gets are so much different and in such different order and whatnot, it doesn't really make any difference. Like he gets a destruction elemental monster like almost right off the bat.
Now we have that we just killed.
Mm-hmm.
Trent, I think it is.
Around, yes.
So what does Trent do?
Pretty much exactly as like Trent actually works slightly different than he did for Alan, because with Alan he would whip people, whereas with Keats he actually just leaps forward and slashes. It doesn't look very useful, but it's a very powerful attack.
Nice.
Fair Realm, Picture Book 2. And also the sleeping monster that earlier was well, it was a sleeping monster for Ellen, but Keats actually does not have a sleeping element. For him, this monster actually is a slash elemental one.
Weird.
Yeah, it is a little bit weird.
Nice.
Also, Keats does not have any status effect elements, whereas Ellen gets all of 3 of them. His elements are all offensive.
Fits. Well, that didn't work out.
Nah, it hit him because it hits into multiple sides. But as you see here, this guy was right on top of us, but he didn't get hit.
Yeah.
Also, that attack doesn't seem particularly powerful for as much time as it takes for it to load. All
Right.
things considered.
God, how many of these guys are there?
Way too many.
Seriously.
But they actually make for a good grinding material, because a lot of folks that you get even on this level will require defeat this many folks with this folk in order to level up. And we finally reached the When you transcend, you become invincible and extremely powerful. What's interesting, you stop using your foes. You just have light attack, harder attack, and I didn't exactly figure out what other two things do. I think they're just all different types of attacks. Like the square is a very fast attack, whereas triangle is an area attack. But since you're invincible and you cannot get interrupted as far as I know, you can use just about anything.
So what you're telling me is that Keats' beefcake mode is actually Darkjack.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
It's like a lot of those types of modes, like the Ghost of Sparta mode or whatever.
Right.
Or the Mohawk power, as I like to call it.
Yes. Considering just getting rid of Mac.
No, I'm just kind of considering where to put.
Dead souls. What's the difference between a dead soul and a live one?
They do explain it. Like, let's say it like that. They do not really, they don't really exist as humans who think and do things anymore. They just, like clusters of memories, so to say. But I think what they mean was... What they meant was souls of the dead and not dead souls. Yeah, this thing is actually pretty damn awesome. And pretty damn powerful. It's an example of an element that Ellen actually does not possess, which he does. He's Earth Elemental.
Huh. And yet he's a skinny elephant.
Mm-hmm.
I like how Keats says thank you when he absorbs stuff sometimes.
Yeah, he has a couple things he says. But yeah, here I was actually kind of surprised that the sleeping monster was actually a slash elemental one. But yeah, his attack is actually pretty fast, but the only problem is he leaps a lot, he like leaps forward, so it's sometimes it's hard to aim exactly for what you want to hit. But that's just the nature of this game. You have to just you just have to kind of try out everything to see what works the best. And what's also really nice about it is everything is very well balanced in such a way that the monsters that you get in the first chapter are not necessarily the least powerful ones that you can get.
Right.
And the monsters that you're going to get later aren't necessarily any better from the ones that you get in the first chapter. In fact, a lot of those from the first chapter I keep on using up until the end of the game.
Nice.
At least that was the case when I was first playing through the game. Here I'm trying to figure out what can actually connect into what.
Right. Gotta work on those combos.
Yeah, I gotta figure out what actually lets me connect and what not.
Didn't the country implement a program for that? Tell us what.
Alright, I will tell you.
Tell us what.
Nah, because the thing is, these guys don't actually like him. You'll see it in a couple other conversations I have with the fairies. They're not actually.
So cool.
He is. I never actually seen that happen, to be honest. That Omegas would actually run away. This is why I actually looked at it the second time. Yeah, now he's just telling us about the the crystals that can only be smashed by a certain element, regardless of the attack power of the folk.
Eh.
That makes a lot of sense, actually.
I guess, yeah.
I mean, it is quite pretty.
Hello.
Oh yeah, this guy is also completely new. He is actually the destroy elemental monster that you would get on this level.
His name is Asshole.
And
So he's weak
let's
to
stay.
Earth.
Let's just. He's actually weak to everything.
Let's call him Almond.
Let's just call him Andre.
Andre the Giant? Okay. I can work with that.
Andre the giant beetle.
Yes, that's what we'll call him from now on.
Mm-hmm. I like Andre the giant beetle. He's actually a much better. Destroy elemental monster than Maximilian is. At least before any karma releases or anything like that.
Right.
And here is something I should have I find out later on. If you get to actually like have him flip over, you should just keep attacking with the regular attack guy, and there is a chance that he will not be able to get up.
Nice.
Like a real beetle.
This is one fucking resilient beetle, by the way.
Well, he does have a boss music, right?
Yeah, I suppose. And we got him.
Mm-hmm. Thankfully, they don't actually show us the tutorials anymore. Once you've actually gotten it twice. Charge to extend the range. Now, what's really nice about him is, unlike Maximilian, he will be able to hit just about anything that touches him, regardless of how close it is.
Nice.
And you don't really need to charge him for long. You can just let him go like that.
Play some bowling.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, Nico, you can't combo that very well.
Now, I just kind of wanted to first compare both. And here you see the first destroy elemental, destroy elemental crystal. So it's even them giving me the destroy elemental monster as a DLC does not really do any sort of so to say sequence breaking,
Or even get you all that far ahead in terms of aid.
Exactly. I mean, I guess it may become better over the level ups. And done.
Now we get to see the father, right?
Not quite yet.
Oh.
Well, first I need to see this area, which has actually something kind of funny going on. If I yeah, this is the area. Now, there is something I would like to mention here. I really like how they actually put you a bit farther away from the exit whenever they put you in a new area.
Yeah, so that we don't accidentally back into it.
That we don't accidentally back into it, or the monster doesn't smack us back through the thing.
Yeah.
Like it happens so goddamn often.
Yeah, I've played games like that. It gets annoying.
But yeah, the slash elemental guy does not even flinch them. That's kind of pathetic. And this guy just got passed.
You will get use out of Maximilian, damn it.
Well, it's a gigantic cannon, I need to.
Right.
I also love how you leave purple footsteps. These are water elemental and I don't have any monsters that can do anything about it. But there's something here going on.
Is that like their mating ritual?
I don't know. All I know is I don't feel welcome there.
Yeah. You don't want to interrupt on something so personal, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Like when I looked at it, I was like, "What is going on?" Let's just not.
Never speak this again.
And done. Okay, so we'll continue this in the next episode.
Yep.